This
So
conference will now be recorded.
wonderful, Vinu, Priyam, Syed, Swati, wonderful guys. Shirin, so Durgesh, Divya, so Divya, wonderful. Okay, Aruna, uh, Sheikh, wonderful. Uh, Hanoni is there. Rohit, wonderful buddy. So hope you're doing. Subramanyam, how are you doing? Syed, how are you doing, guys? Yuvraj, are you attending regularly or it's one-off class? Wonderful, Syed. Superb, superb, nice. So, what about others? Yuvraj and Rohit, Subramanyam. How are you doing? Okay, Subramanyam, wonderful, wonderful, brother, wonderful. So, let's get started, or should we wait? In the group, somebody please put a message that the class has already started. Class has started. Please join. Okay, so there's two groups. So, class started. Please join. Okay. So quickly, brother, I don't want to spend too much time on yesterday's recap, but if somebody can unmute themselves and quickly tell me what is that we have discussed yesterday. I know we are talking about SDLC models, okay, but we have discussed about, I believe, three models. Can somebody please unmute themselves and tell me about those three models? Yuvraj, who is that?
Waterfall model,
Waterfall
spiral
model,
model,
spiral
spiral
model,
model,
incremental model.
Wonderful. It's okay if somebody
and
is speaking
agile.
over others, it is still fine, but I want you to be attentive. Okay, waterfall model, spiral model. Okay, that's the second one. Okay, that's the second one we have discussed. And the third one is what?
Incremental
Anything?
model.
V model,
Okay, okay. Are these the only models or there will be more models?
V model,
More.
more models.
Okay, there are more models. Okay, so today I will be discussing about V model. Okay, again, guys, if you're not speaking, please mute yourself because there's a lot of honking. Bus honking I am able to hear. Okay, so there's V model and then there is agile scrum is what I will discuss today. Okay, so but again, apart from these five models I'm discussing, there are other models like fish model, a lot of other models. Okay, I can't think of anything at the top of my mind right now. Okay, but fish model is there, and then sprint model is there, XP model is there. Okay, prototype model is there. Okay, like that there are multiple models which I might not be discussing because if we are just spending so much time only discussing about models, okay, the real stuff will be gone. Okay, so that's why I'm skipping those models and all that. Okay, some models which may not be that important, but again I expect that you will go ahead and do some internet research and figure out all the SDLC models, and then make a note, make a notes for yourselves, guys. Okay, because in the interviews we never know, okay, what they will ask. But generally, okay, if they ask you your project is implemented in which SDLC model, I would expect that you will give one of these two answers. Okay, I will expect that you will give one of these two answers. One is V model or Scrum. Okay, so let's discuss this in detail. Okay, V model obviously means the model is in the shape of a V. Okay, model paint. Let me open the paint. Okay, so this model, when we draw it, it is in the form of a V, so they are calling it as a V model, which means that all the people sitting in the office, they put the chairs in this model and sit. I'm just asking why. I mean, uh, is that so? One is yes, two is no. In the office they put the chairs and desks and everything in this way, and all the people like developers, testers, everybody will be sitting like this. No, 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 that's not what it is. Okay, just to make it easy, they have drawn something in the form of this diagram. Okay, so that it makes it easy for me to explain. It makes it easy for you to understand. So they have came out with a pictorial form, and the pictorial form, like for the waterfall, it is like this, right? Like water is falling, right? Okay, so in the pictorial form it is like this, so that's why they are calling it as a waterfall. Okay, so which doesn't mean that the people will be sitting on the stairs and working or something like that. No. Okay, so when you draw like that, it becomes easy for people to explain and other people to understand, and then accordingly they are naming it like that. So similarly, okay, if we for me to explain this model easily, it is, it will be easy for me to draw a V model and explain it. And since it is drawn in the V model, they are calling it as a V model. That's about it. Okay. But again, if whatever the answer that I gave doesn't make sense to you, it is totally fine, guys. You need not have to understand why they named it as a V model. Okay. But I'm just trying to bring some sense into that. Okay. Now, okay, again, one is the way they have drawn, they're calling it as a V model. The second is, okay, validation and verification. Okay, there are two things which happens as a part of V model: validation and what is it, and verification. Wonderful. Okay, so yes, it is a VV model. Okay, if you have been in Andhra, Telangana, and if you know Chandrababu Naidu, he is very famous to, point the fingers in a form of a V for victory. For him, he shows the hand like that V. For him, it is a victory. But for us, it is V for validation, and V for verification, and V for the picture that I am about to draw. So that is the reason why they have multiple reasons to name this model as V model. Okay, so V stands for validation, V stands for verification, V stands for the actual picture that I'm going to draw. Okay, so Kumar sir, what is this validation and what is this verification? Okay, anybody in the class can give a guess what is the validation and what is verification?
Yeah, validation is some, if an example I go through, if I am going to log in on the Facebook with my credentials, that it's validating my credential is correct or not. And verification
Wonderful,
is I am able
super.
to
Yeah.
access that application.
Okay, super. You half of the answer what you said is absolutely right. Yours seems like, who have already took the training. Okay, so verification,
I
validation,
am
whatever.
I'm new.
Yeah, you're new. Okay, okay. Anyways, okay. Verification is more like your static testing that we have discussed. You remember on a particular day where we have spoken about static testing or quality analysis or something like that. Okay. So it is more focused on the verification of the documents. Okay. Validation is the actual testing that you do, which is the black box testing or the white box testing. Okay. Validation is your white box testing or black box testing, and verification is the verification of the documents, which we also call it as a static testing, where you open the documents and you check if everything is good, and you check if the process is being good and all that. Okay, are we okay, brother? All of you Okay, so verification is more document focused. Okay, so it is more static oriented, where you're focusing on the process, where you're focusing on the documents. You're verifying if the process is being taken care properly, and you're also verifying if the documents are, or the documents are correct, is as per the understanding and all that. Okay, which we can also call it as a static testing. Static means there is no movement, there is no, what do you say, there is no activity, there is no dynamic nature of it. So the application, you're not opening the application, you're not doing anything on the application. It is more like simply opening the documents and reviewing, simply making sure that the process is happening correctly or not. So that's why we are calling it as a static testing. Okay, so your verification is more of a document verification and process verification. Validation is the actual testing, which is your black box testing or a white box testing. Are we okay with this so far, guys? Validation and verification, all of you. This is a very important question. Again, from the internet, you can get the definitions. What is a validation? What is verification? But in the class, try to understand. And somewhere after the whole course is done, maybe I'll create, I'll ask my team to create some documents and send it across to you. Or I might have some documents pulled out from internet. Today, I will share it with you. Tomorrow morning, I'll share it with you. Somebody please remind me. Okay, personally ping me and remind me that, I'm supposed to share the documents, which I will do it with you. Okay, there all the definitions will be there, or most of the definitions that I asked for, that I'm talking about. But in the class, only try to understand what it is. Okay, or this session is getting recorded. After the whole thing is done, recording is done, you can go back, look into the recording, and create the running notes. Okay, or from the videos you can create the notes. Okay, so are we clear with the validation and verification, guys? Everybody, before I move forward, all of you, one is yes, two is no. I want to hear from everybody. Radhika, looks like you have been missing some classes. Divya, wonderful.
Yes, sir. One class I have missed, sir.
Yeah, yeah,
That
Swati.
I was on travel.
Okay, okay, no issues. So Izal, Izhil. I really need to know how to pronounce your name, brother. Okay,
No,
it
it's,
became
no,
an
it's
issue for
actually
me.
Edil.
Sorry,
It's Edil. My name is Edil.
Adil. Okay, okay,
Yeah,
Adil. I'm so
yeah.
sorry. I've been calling it as Izal.
That's okay. That's
Okay,
okay. Here, everybody, no, here, a lot of people, it's hard to pronounce. They used to call me Easy, but American, they used to call me Easy.
easy. So
Yeah.
that's Edil, right? Edil, right?
Edil,
With the
Edil,
D. Ale,
Edil.
ale,
Yeah.
ale.
Yeah.
Okay, okay,
Thank
okay.
you.
Thank you, thank you. I hope I got it right. Even though I pronounce it wrong, please excuse me. Okay. Yeah. Wonderful. Jay Krishna. So nice, buddy. Rohit, nice. Okay. So Sanket, please can you repeat one? Sanket. Okay. So verification, Sanket, if you have been following all my classes, this would have been easy for you. So verification is more about, okay, verifying, okay, the documents and process. Okay. If you haven't understood this, don't worry about it. As I'm explaining the V model, you will be able to understand. Okay. Validation is more of your black box or white box testing. Okay, so again, validation, yesterday's class, if you understand, or if you understand what is my levels of testing, you will be able to understand this. Okay, now if you haven't understood this still, okay, it is still fine, not an issue. I'll explain this again. Okay, or as I'm going through the process, you will be able to understand it. Okay, now verification, I'll put it here, guys, watch carefully. Verification, okay, verification and verification, okay, and validation, I'm putting it here. Okay, okay, always remember. Okay, so this time, this is where verification is there, which is verifying the documents. Okay, and this is where you have the validation, which is validating the application. Okay, so now let's go through the SDLC, brother. Okay, what is the first phase of SDLC? What is the first phase of SDLC?
Gather requirement.
Requirement gathering.
Okay, requirement gathering.
Gathering.
Okay, requirement gathering. Okay, so what do you get as a part of requirement gathering? What is the output of requirement gathering?
BRD document.
Okay,
As far
BRD
as the
document.
System requirement.
Okay, so BRD document you will get it. Okay, so BRD or BRS or whatever you call it, business requirement specification or business requirement document, or CRS or URS, as I've told you. Okay, so Yuvraj, wonderful. Okay, so from the requirement gathering, okay, so you got this document called BRD. Now, okay, as a testing team, what you will do, you will verify this BRD document, and that's why you have this verification over here. Okay, this document is out and you will be what, you are verifying this document. Okay, and also not only that, you will be writing couple of other things called, okay, acceptance test plan. What I'm saying, acceptance test plan. Okay,
Acceptance plan.
acceptance test plan. Okay, so you will be writing what, acceptance test cases, and acceptance test plan will be started parallelly. Acceptance test plan. Okay, I have to draw a bigger picture, I believe. Okay, which I will do it right now. Okay, Okay, so here again the acceptance testing team. Okay, the acceptance no alpha or beta is there na. UAT testing, user acceptance testing. You remember that levels of testing na everybody? User acceptance testing, you remember all of it? How many types
Yes.
of user acceptance testing is there, buddy? Guys, how many types of user
Two, sir.
acceptance testing?
Alpha,
Two, right?
beta.
Two types,
Alpha and beta.
Wonderful.
alpha and
So
beta.
wonderful. So you will be creating an UAT test plan and also start writing the UAT test cases. Okay, UAT test cases. Okay, and finally on the validation front, okay, what will happen on the validation front? What will happen? The actual user acceptance testing will happen. Okay, here the actual UAT testing or acceptance testing will happen. Okay. Okay, are you understanding, guys? Are you understanding? Okay, so this side you have the verification where the document will be verified, and this side you have the validation which the actual user acceptance testing is happening. And after the document is verified, you will be creating, as a part of the process, you will be creating the UAT test plan and then the UAT test cases, and then when the code is ready, which I will talk about it, UAT testing will happen. UAT testing will happen. Okay, so are you okay with this so far, all of you? Are you okay with this one so far, all of you? Okay. Again, if you are not asking the question, I'll ask a question. There is logically one thing which is missing here. I'll expect that somebody will answer this, ask that question. Nobody asked the question. Okay. When can the
Sir,
testing
without
happen?
developing test cases,
Right. Sorry. Go ahead. Ask the question. I didn't. Okay, I didn't let you complete the question. Yeah, please go ahead.
sir, without completing test cases and all, how will it will happen for UAT? User acceptance is the final round of testing, right? It's still in
Right.
the requirement gathering. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So who is that person who has asked the question?
It's me, sir, Rohit Kumar.
Wonderful, Rohit. So what Rohit is saying is, okay, as per the process, sir, first what happens, requirement gathering will happen. Second, what happens, analysis will happen. Third, what happens, okay, design will happen. Fourth, what happens, coding will happen. Then you have unit testing, sir. First unit testing will happen. Then what, integration testing will happen. Then what, system testing will happen. Then what, finally you have the UAT testing, user acceptance testing. But here what has happened, requirement gathering is done and we are talking about the user acceptance testing. How is it possible? Is this the right question or not, all of you? After
Yes.
requirement analysis, requirement gathering, how can we do the UI testing? How is it possible? Okay, because there's so many things that needs to be done between requirement gathering and unit testing. Here, sir, you are saying that requirement gathering is done, BRD came out, then you have verified, then you're saying that write the test plan, test cases and do the testing. But for doing the testing, all this coding has to be done at least. Forget about all this. At least the coding, the application should be ready. Without application is ready, how can we do the UI testing? Is it a valid question or not? One is yes, two is no.
Yes.
Okay, but again I'm saying, when you have the doubt, you should ask, think about it. It's not about me shouting and me giving the knowledge. It is about you putting the brain into it and think logically. Okay, how is it possible? Okay, always think about it. In IT only logic works, nothing works. Okay, keep that question aside. Okay, Rohit, it's a wonderful question. Keep that question aside, because I haven't completed the whole V model. Once I complete the whole V model, automatically the answer will come out for that. Okay, now the second thing, what is the second thing, guys? What is the second phase?
Analysis.
What is the second phase? Analysis phase. Okay, so for the analysis phase, what is the output of analysis phase?
SRS document.
SRS, system specification
Yes.
document. Okay, system requirement,
System
requirement
requirement.
specification. Yeah, SRD or SRS or whatever you want to call it. Okay, now what as a testing team, and by the way, who will do this verification of BRD? Who will write this UI test plan? Who will write this UI test cases? And who will do this UI testing? Who will do that, guys? Business analyst or
Business
somebody, the
analyst
client.
team.
Wonderful. Business analyst team or somebody, a representative of the client will be doing it, usually a business analyst. Wonderful, wonderful. Okay, now there is analysis phase. Output is an SRS document. Then obviously you will be verifying this document. You will be verifying this document. You as in who will be verifying? When I said you will be verifying, who will be
Tester, sir.
verifying this? Tester.
Tester.
Which testing team?
Analyst.
System testing team. Wonderful.
Testing.
Okay, system testing team will be verifying, which I'll tell you shortly why. Okay, so now SRS document is there. As a part of the verification, the system testing team will be verifying this document, and if there are any issues, immediately inform the business system analyst, and they will go talk to the business analyst and the client, and if there are any changes required, they will do it. They will fix the document and they will give you a newer version of the document. And once you are happy with it and there are no issues with that, with the newer version, you will create a system testing test plan. Okay, a system testing test plan, or simply testing test plan. Okay, or system testing test plan. Okay, and also you will write the corresponding test cases for the system testing. Okay, you write the test plan for the system testing, and you will also write the test plan for test cases for the system testing. When I said you, who is doing it? The system testing team. Okay, and then as a part of the validation, what is being done here? System testing is being done. System testing is being done. Again the same question, sir. Okay, no coding is done, how can you do the system testing? Again, I will come to that question shortly. Okay, software testing or system testing or whatever you can call this. Okay, now okay, what is the next phase, guys? What is the next phase? What is the
Design.
next phase?
Design.
Design phase is there. Okay, I will use this entire space, design phase. Okay, as a part of designing, okay, there are two things, right? As a part of designing, there are two things. What are those two things? What is the first one and what is the
High
second
level,
one?
low level.
Oh,
High level, low
design,
level.
low level
High level
design.
and low level.
okay, high level design and low level design. Okay, so I'll write it down here. Let me move this little back. Okay, so high level design, HLD, okay, and LLD.
Low level.
Okay, LLD. Okay, both these will be there in which document? Both this high level design and low level design is put into which document?
Integration.
Okay,
Integration.
technical design document, right? Technical design, TTD document. You remember technical TDD document? You remember the day technical design document. Okay, so these are technical artifacts and this is in the technical design document. So for the high level design, again there is a test plan, okay, which we call it as an integration test plan. Okay, and integration test cases, I would say. Okay, integration, okay, test plan will be created and the corresponding test cases will also be written. Okay, corresponding test cases. Okay, so corresponding test cases. Okay, and what kind of testing is done as a part of validation here? Okay, integration
testing.
testing. Integration testing. Okay, integration testing. Wonderful, wonderful. Okay, once the whole picture is done, please take the screenshot, guys. And this low level design is also part of the TDD document, which will be verified. Okay, what document will be verified here? TDD document will be verified. Okay, and also here also, I mean, for both of them, it is the TDD document itself, which will be verified as a part of the verification, as a part of the validation. Integration test plan, integration test cases will be created, and finally integration testing will be done. Okay, as a part of low level design document, what will be written? Integration, okay, unit test cases and unit test plan. Okay, okay, test cases will be written, and finally unit testing will be done as a part of the validation. Okay, unit testing will be done as a part of the validation. Okay, And finally, this is the first phase, second phase, this is the third phase. What is the last phase? Coding. Coding is sitting
Coding.
right at the bottom. Coding is sitting right at the bottom. Okay. Wonderful, guys. I will draw a small line here, okay, so that it is clear for all of you. Okay, superb, wonderful. Okay, nice. Okay, now you look at this carefully. So far we have drawn, but now watch carefully. Now watch carefully, everybody. Most of the questions will be answered now. Okay, watch carefully. First, requirement gathering phase is done. Okay, where the output is BRD document. The UI test team will be verifying, and the other testing team will also be verifying. But typically, it is a UI test team will be verifying. Okay, they will parallelly start their work, which is writing the test plan and the test cases, and they will not be ready until the system testing is done. So they will wait until the system testing is done. Once the system testing is done, they will do the UI testing. Watch carefully. Okay, but these things can get started once they have verified this. If there is any feedback, they will give it back to the business analyst, which they will fix it and give a newer version of BRD. Verification is done. So if there is any issues, immediately those issues will be identified then and there itself, and it will be cleared. So this way you are identifying the defects early in the stage, and there are no, I mean, defects as in the problem with the requirements is there. You are identifying early, and the things will be fixed early. So BRD is verified, then they can start their work, UI test plan and UI test cases, and parallelly the business system analyst will be doing the analysis. Going into the analysis phase, they will create this SRS document. Okay, now this SRS document, as soon as it's ready, it is going to the software testing team or the system testing team. They will be verifying this document. They will also go through this document, but here they will be majorly focused on this one to verify this. If there are any issues, they will talk to the business system analyst and get it fixed. Okay, no issues, Jay Krishna. Okay, no issues. Whenever you have to leave, you leave. Okay, but watch the video, because I told you this is very, very important. Okay, now as soon as they're happy with the document, based on the understanding of these two documents, they will write their test plan and they will write their test cases. Okay, but they cannot do the system testing until the integration testing is done. Okay, so these things are happening parallelly while the design team, which is the architect team or the technical design team, are working on HLD, LLD. Our testing team will be working on the test plan and the test cases, but they cannot start the testing until this integration testing is done. Wonderful, guys. Then once these two, you see, these two documents are verified as a part of the verification. Then it goes to the third phase, where the design phase, where the technical design manager, design team will be working on HLD and LLD. And once the HLD is out, the technical design document will be out, which will be verified again by the developers or the integration testing team, which is usually the developers. And this is the white box testing. These two are black box testing and these two are white box testing. Okay, so this white box testing, whoever is doing it will be verifying the document, and if there are any problem, they will go to the manager and get it fixed. Dev lead or dev manager, technical lead or technical manager, they get it fixed. Okay, and then they start working on the test plan and the test cases, and they cannot do the integration testing until the unit testing is done. Similarly, once the LLD is ready, okay, they will append it to the TTD document, which the developers, whoever is doing the unit testing, will be verifying that particular document, and also parallelly start the unit testing, unit test plan and the test cases. Now the developer will do the coding, and once the coding is done, then this test plan test cases are already ready. They will execute all the unit test cases, and if there is any bugs, defects, they will be fixing it. And once they're happy with the unit testing, then the integration testing will be done. But before going into it, these test plan test cases, everything is ready. So all they have to do is execute whatever is there in the test cases. They will execute that, and the testing is done, and all the integration testing is done. Then the system is ready now, and any defects are there, they will fix it. Now the system is ready. Both the white box testing is done. Now the actual black box testing will start. Now it comes to our testing team. Our testing team means you and me. Okay, this is when the code reaches us and you guys will start working. But by the time you got the code, or the build is being deployed into your testing environment, I already told you what is a testing environment. By the time the code is being deployed into your testing environment, by that time you would have already created your test plan and test cases, and you're happily ready. As soon as the code is deployed, you can start actually testing on the system. And again, as you are doing this system testing, you will find the defects, bugs, and all that, which you will send it to the developer. Developer will fix it, and once you are happy with all this, then you go tell to the end client that okay, everything is ready. Now the end client, let's say is ICICI, those guys would have already written the test plan, test cases. They will go ahead and do their alpha or beta testing, or both of them, whatever they wanted to do. And once this whole process is done, you will have a finally shippable project or a product, okay, which has been delivered delivered into the client environment. Okay, so this is the overall final process. You see, requirement gathering, analysis, low level, high level design, low level design, coding, unit testing, integration testing, system testing, and user acceptance testing. But here the 1 minute, guys. Sorry about that. So here the beauty about is things happen parallelly. You see, once the BRD is done, as the business system analyst is working on SRS document, the UI test team is working on the test plan and test cases. These two activities are happening parallelly. Or multiple activities can happen parallel. And SRS document is done, the system testing team is doing their work, and the architect or the design managers, they are doing their work. So you see, all the things are happening parallelly, and every stage there is a verification happening on the left hand side. And if there is any problem with the documents or any clarity is required, then and there the issue is getting fixed and the problem is being taken care of. And that's the beauty. Things are happening parallelly, which means that time required to execute the project will be little lesser. The cost of the project will be little lesser. And also, most importantly, then and there the verification is being done, which means that any issue is there, at that time itself the issue is being resolved. Okay, this is the beauty of the V model. This side verification, this side validation. Overall, they have so that you understand, they have put this whole thing in a form of a V model or a V shape. Hence, we are calling it as a V model. This is predominantly used in most of the companies these days. Most of them moved to agile from V model, but V model is still being used. You can say that your project is executed in the V model, and draw this picture and show it to your interviewer or whoever it is. They will be definitely confident to, and then saying that okay, you have actually executed this project, or in your project has been executed in this model, and you are involved in this particular black box testing called system testing or software testing. everybody everybody clear with this one, guys? Absolutely clear, everybody? All of you?
Yes,
This
sir.
is very, very, very important. I'm telling you guys, this understanding the V model is absolutely important for you, because they will definitely ask this question called what was the SDLC model your project was implemented. Okay, you cannot say that it's a waterfall model. If you say V model, they will definitely ask you to explain. Then politely ask for a pen and a paper, draw the whole picture and explain it to him. And it is good, if he asks this question, you can consume 10 minutes of his time, and you can confidently talk about it, which means that he will also be confident that okay, this boy or a girl actually knows what she's doing. Okay, any questions over here? If you don't, I will ask a question again. You should be able to answer at that point of time. Any questions? No, no. Okay, now I'll move to the next chapter or the next thing. Please take the screenshot of this if you think it is required. Okay, I'll minimize a little bit. Okay, I'll save it as well. This is day 12, is it?
Yes.
Okay, somebody needs those pics, tell me, guys. Okay, wonderful. Okay, now I will talk about the next model called Scrum. Okay, are you ready for that, or you want a 5 minutes break, guys? The Scrum model, you need a 5 minutes break, or you are ready for understanding this Scrum model? Agile Scrum, I will call it as Agile Scrum. Ready? Okay. Anybody needs break? I'll go with majority. Okay. Are you ready for it, or you need a break? Because I want you to absorb all the things. Okay, continue. Wonderful. Okay. Now I'll play a small video. Try to understand as much as you could from the video. I'm not expecting that you will understand everything from the video. Okay, but I want to set, I actually asked you to watch this video as a part of the assignment. Okay, but I'm not sure how many of you watched the video. But again, from the video, I'm not expecting that you will understand everything. Okay, but understand as much as you could. Prashanti said she has already watched it. But how many of you have actually watched it? One is yes, two is no. Okay, there's Kavita said she watched it. Aruna, uh, Zil, Shirin, um, Radhika didn't watch it. Sayed didn't watch it. Rohit watched it. Okay. Divya didn't watch it. Okay. By the way, all this can be played on the mobile as well. Okay. You are going around somewhere. You are traveling on a bus, train. Okay, or a car. Somebody is driving. Then you can just watch. My videos, which every day they record, and my team will put it out there on the on your group. Or you can watch the videos that I'll send across. Okay. You can parallelly do something and also watch. Okay. Okay, waterfall he was explaining. Now Scrum. Okay, hear carefully. By the way, are you able to hear the volume that is coming out of this video? All of you?
No,
The
sir.
volume.
No,
Okay,
sir.
when I play this video, the volume you're not. Oh, you're not able to hear the volume. Okay, then there is no way I can play this particular video. Okay, fine, not an issue. Okay.
Share the link. We will go on that.
That you can. I already shared it in the group. I'll put it over here as well. But at your leisure time, you can watch it. Now, if I ask you to watch, everybody will be like somebody might leave. So forget it. Like after me explaining, watch this whole video again. Okay. Now, just for me to explain this Scrum, okay, I come out with some terminology. Okay, don't try to understand everything at one go. Whatever the terminology I'm talking about, only try to understand the terminology. Once you understand all the terminology, then I will explain the whole story, guys. Okay, so hear carefully. Okay, here there is somebody called product owner. Okay, product owner. There is somebody called product owner. Okay, now for our discussion purposes, let's say ICICI guys have given the work to whom? Infosys. Okay, for doing what? For building their online banking application. For building the online banking application. Okay, then ICICI said that, okay, you are going to told Infosys that, okay, you are going to build my banking application, online banking application. Which SDLC model you are following? Okay, which SDLC model you wanted to follow? Okay, then okay, then Infosys says, okay, we will be following the Agile Scrum. Okay, Agile Scrum. Okay, then wonderful. Or there is another way. What happens is ICICI simply says that, okay, Infosys, we gave you the project, follow the Agile Scrum. Okay, I really don't care whether you have the capability. If not, build that capability, but implement the project in not V model. Don't implement in V model. I don't like spiral model. I don't like waterfall model, or I don't like prototype model. I don't like any of those models. I like Agile Scrum. Go ahead and implement in the Agile Scrum. Usually that's what happens. Okay, the client will be telling the vendor which model to follow. Okay, by the way, if you don't have anything to talk, guys, please mute it, because a lot of background noise. Okay, it will spoil the videos and other people will find it difficult as well. Okay, what is being told to Infosys? Follow the Agile Scrum. Okay, now you tell me, there are two people involved. One is ICICI, one is Infosys. Now, who is the product owner out of these two people? Who is the product owner here? In this example, ICICI 1, Infosys 2. Okay, wonderful, guys. Okay, ICICI is the product owner. Okay, product owner, wonderful. Okay, he is the owner of that product called online banking application. He is the one who comes out with the requirements. He's the one who comes out with the requirements. But in the Agile Scrum, we don't call them as requirements, which I'll talk about it. Okay. But now we'll keep this aside. So he's a product owner. There is one guy called product owner. Superb, superb. Okay. Now there is another guy called Scrum Master. Okay. Scrum Master. Okay. Scrum Master. Okay. So guy who have mastered this SDLC process called Scrum, we call that as Scrum Master. Sir, I know cooking master, I know martial arts master, okay, but what is this Scrum Master? Somebody who have actually completely very good or mastered this process called Scrum. Okay, how can I be a Scrum Master? Anybody can be a Scrum Master. There is a certification for that. If you do the certification, there are, I think, 3 levels of certifications. Okay, so first level is easy, then the second level is little tough, I believe. Third level is more tough. I don't remember how many levels are there, but there are different levels of certification. You can clear those certifications and you can become a Scrum Master. Okay. Wonderful, guys. Okay, so let's say our Divya is our Scrum Master because she has cleared the certifications, whatever is required to be called as a Scrum Master. She has cleared the certifications and now she is the Scrum Master. Okay, sir, Divya is a Scrum Master. Now what is she supposed to do? Simply come to office every day and then discuss about movies, discuss about the cricket match and then go home? No, that's not what it is. Her responsibility is to make sure that the whole process is being properly followed. The whole process is being properly followed. Okay, the whole process is being properly followed. Okay, and make sure. Okay, and make sure. Okay, meetings. Okay, happen. Make sure everyday meetings happens every day meetings happen on time. Okay, and manage the entire show. Okay, and manage the entire show or entire process or entire project. Okay, so this is the responsibility of the Scrum Master. Okay, this is the responsibility of Divya. So what is the process? I don't even know what is the process. You are saying that okay, Divya's responsibility is to make sure that process is being followed. What is the process? I'll come to that. Okay, once we totally understand what is Agile Scrum, you will totally understand what is the actual process of implementing the Scrum. Okay, what is this everyday meeting? I know meetings happens once in a while, once in 15 days, once in a week. Everyday meetings happens or what? Okay, yes, in Scrum every day there is a meeting. Okay, which we call it as a stand-up meetings. Okay, stand-up calls or stand-up meetings. Okay, so every day there is a Scrum meeting or stand-up meeting or stand-up call. They call it by different names. Okay, hang on, guys. Okay, so this happens. Okay, why they will do the meetings every day? They don't have any work or what? Okay, I'll tell you why they will happen, but for now just to try to understand few things. That's what I'm saying. Okay, so every day the meetings will happen, which we call it as a Scrum meetings or stand-up calls or stand-up meetings. Okay, different companies call it by different names. So for now we will call it as a Scrum meeting or stand-up call. Okay, every day happens. And manage the entire show or the process means, okay, so every day the meetings are happening. Okay, things, whatever the things needs to be done on a particular day is being happened. Okay, all that needs to be taken. So basically this is the main guy. Okay, this is the main guy. Okay, what Divya is our main lady now for this Scrum, for making sure that the Scrum Agile Scrum is properly implemented. Kumar sir, I still didn't get it what exactly the Divya will do. Don't worry about it. Once the entire thing is done, I'll clearly explain. I have involved into one of this Scrum project. I will tell you how they sit, what they do, everything I will explain, so that it is as if you have done it. I'll explain it in that way. Okay, wonderful, superb. Okay, so we've spoken about okay roles. We are talking about roles here. Okay, so there are 3 roles. First we have spoken about the product owner. Okay, then we have spoken about the Scrum Master. Who is the Scrum Master? Our Divya is the Scrum Master. Okay, so okay, her work also we have discussed to certain extent. Her work also we have discussed. Okay, wonderful. Okay, so this is point 1 A, I'll say. Okay, A. Okay, we'll put this one as B. Okay, and then C. Okay, wonderful, wonderful. Okay, roles we have discussed so far. Okay, now again today. Okay, let 7 happen, then we'll discuss what needs to be done after 7. Okay, so there are some documents or artifacts. Okay, documents are artifacts. Artifacts are nothing but documents only, guys. Okay, so there are some documents or artifacts involved in this Scrum. Let's discuss about it. But when these documents will be created, who creates this document, we'll discuss about that later. But right now, just to try to understand that there are certain documents will be there or artifacts will be there. We'll try to understand that. One is what? Product. Okay, backlog. Okay, what is it? Product backlog. Okay, what is that? Product backlog. Second one is what? User stories.
Print.
Okay, and then there is a third one as well. Okay, sprint backlog. Okay, Kumar sir, I didn't know what is the sprint. You are using the word sprint. Don't get overwhelmed. I will come to these documents. I will tell you who prepares this document, when they will prepare and all that. Okay. But just to try to understand that there are these documents, and finally burn down chart.
No.
Okay. Sorry, there were some questions. Yeah, please ask the questions. So guys, are you still there? Hello? Can somebody please tell me if you're still
Yes,
there?
sir.
My power. Okay, my power went off actually and came back. Okay, so I didn't know that you guys were still there. Hang on. Let me check what happened with my power. Just give me one moment. It is running on my backup. Just give me a couple of minutes. So guys, are you able to hear me? Okay, sorry about that. The power went off and my team was having some fun. Okay, wonderful. Okay, so there are 4 artifacts or documents which we call it as a product backlog, user stories, sprint backlog, and burn down chart. Again, I'll talk about this little later. Okay, now there are 3 ceremonies. Okay, ceremonies means what? Meetings. Okay, there are ceremonies. Again, only don't try to understand what they mean and all that. Just try to understand that there are some terms like that are there. Okay, but later on I'll tell you exactly what happens. Okay, there are ceremonies. Is the spelling right? Ceremonies. Okay, so I'll take the questions. Let me complete the whole thing, brother, and I'll take the questions. People are asking some questions. I understand. Yuvraj, you are asking a question, but first let me complete it. I don't want to deviate now. Already people might be little worried. There are so many new terms are there. What are these? Don't worry about it. Okay. So there are 3 ceremonies. One is the sprint planning. Okay. Sprint planning. Okay, again, don't get overwhelmed by listening to the word sprint. I'll cover that. Okay, so daily scrum or daily meeting or daily, I told you na, daily meetings, the daily stand-up meetings or daily scrum. Okay, now third one, daily scrum, or you can call this as a stand-up meetings. Okay, stand-up meetings. Okay, or scrum meetings. Okay, however you wanted to call it. Okay, some different people call it different ways. Okay, and sprint review. Okay, sprint review. Okay, Kumar sir, now enough of these terms and all that. Start explaining the process. I'm already confused now. So many new terms are there. You are already using the word like sprint and all that. First explain what is a sprint, because it is repeated already 3 times here. Okay, please explain first what is the sprint, then let's talk about all these roles, documents, ceremonies. I totally understand. Okay, first what happens is, okay, all the process, sorry, all the process, of the SDLC, which is your requirement gathering, or whatever, the design, okay, the coding, testing, okay, gathering everything, they you put it, okay, and then you can call this as a one scrum. Okay, you can call this as a, sorry, one sprint. Okay, so the requirement gathering, okay, then the design, and then the coding, and then the testing, and everything that you do as a part of the overall process, the software development life cycle. Okay, that whole thing you put it into you call that as one single sprint. Okay, you call that as one single sprint. It is more like your incremental model, guys. It is an iterative model. Okay, so first what you do, hang on 1 second. Okay, okay, so you see this, first you plan, you build, you test, and you review. Okay, so what all the things that needs to go as a part of SDLC, which is your planning, okay, requirement gathering, analysis, designing, coding, and testing. Okay, all those phases you put together. Okay, and then you complete that, you call that as one single sprint. Okay, you call that as one single sprint. Okay, one single sprint. Okay, so here you don't plan for the whole project. Okay, you let's say the whole project has 1,000 requirements. You don't plan to build it for 1,000 requirements. Whatever is possible for that particular sprint, usually the sprint goes for 1 week to, okay, 3 weeks, 1 week to 3 weeks. Anything, the sprint timelines will be anywhere from 1 week to 3 weeks. Let's assume this project the sprint is for 2 weeks. Okay, usually it could be anywhere from 1 week to 3 weeks. Okay, but in this project, let's say our sprint time is for 2 weeks. Our sprint time is for 2 weeks. Okay, now whatever the work that is possible for these 2 weeks, that kind of requirements you gather, and you do the planning for that, you create the design or whatever for that, you do the coding for that, you do the testing for that. Okay, so all that possible, whatever is possible for the 2 weeks, that much amount of work you will take up, and you will do it, and that is called a sprint. And it could be from 1 week to 3 weeks, but let's assume our project is 3 weeks. Okay, so this 3 week, sorry, 2 weeks, so 2 weeks amount of work is being taken and completed. And finally what you are doing, planning, designing, coding, testing. Okay, everything you are doing for that particular piece of work that you have taken, you complete the entire thing for the whole thing, and you call this as a one single sprint. Are we clear so far, guys? Are we clear so far, everybody? Are we clear so far, everybody? Okay, are we clear? I'm asking you, all of you. If you're clear, then there is a point for me to go further. Okay, are we clear so far? All of you, I want to ask all of you, because there's some people leaving, so I don't want anybody to leave. Okay, everybody clear? Absolutely clear so far? Okay, now whoever has understood it, now you tell me, there will be only one sprint, or there could be multiple sprints? Multiple sprint, because you haven't taken the entire work. Whatever is the possible in the 2 weeks work, that much amount of work you have taken, and planning is done only for that, coding and designing is done only for that, and coding, yeah, and then the testing is done only for that. Okay, now as you are saying, there could be multiple sprints. How many sprints are there? We don't know. It depends upon the amount of work and the project. Okay, there could be multiple sprints. Okay, so there could be multiple sprints. Wonderful. Okay, sprint 1, sprint 2, sprint 3, sprint 4. Okay, like that there could be multiple sprint. I'll call it as a sprint 2. Okay, sprint 2. Okay, sprint 3. Okay, Okay, now, okay, who is the product owner? Let's say our product owner is Shirin.
Yes,
Okay,
yes, yes.
Shirin is our product owner. Okay, let's assume. Okay, Divya is the scrum master. Okay, Shirin is the product owner. Now the product owner, who is our Shirin, okay, she can decide. Okay, Shirin, she can decide whether, okay, after sprint 1 or 2 or 3 you will have a I mean, you wanted to deploy it into actually production or not, I mean in the production servers or not. Okay, let's say Shirin thought that, okay, this is for 2 weeks now, I'll keep this aside. Okay, okay, this is not required at this time. Okay, let's move it aside. Okay, now Shirin thought that, okay, who is our product owner, thought that after sprint 1 there is not enough application to actually deploy into production, because even though you deploy into production nobody can do much out of it. So she decided that she's not going to deploy it into production. Sprint 2 is done. So the work of this one and this one now Shirin has. So there is enough code. If she thinks that, okay, there is enough work which is being done, let me deploy it into production, and the customers can make some use out of it. If she thinks, she will deploy it into production. Otherwise, she is not deploying it. So let's assume after sprint 3, Shirin thought that, okay, there is enough code, there is enough features on this application. Now even if I ship it or if I deploy it into production, the customers can actually use this application. There is some purpose to it, and the actual, okay, the whole project is not ready, all the features are not ready, but there are enough features are there so that the customers can start using it. Yes, on this banking application you cannot order the check. Yes, you cannot raise the tickets. Yes, you cannot apply for a credit card, you cannot apply for loan, you cannot check your credit card. But at least on this product, after sprint 3, you can check your account summary, you can do the balance transfers. Okay, you can pull out the transaction history. Yes, these features, okay, overall project is not ready, but these 3 to 4 features or 5 6 features has been done. Now the customers will be able to at least use these features, and not all the features that we have promised are not there, but some features that are essential, and then people can start using it. They can start using it. Then Shirin will deploy it into production, and people, the end customers, can start using the application. Are you clear with this, guys? Whatever I said, especially the last statement, whatever I said, are you clear with it, or should I write it down? All of you. Okay, what Shirin thought was, okay, this is a banking application. Okay, you cannot order the checkbook, you cannot order the checkbook, cheq checkbook. Okay, after sprint 3 I'm saying, okay, sprint 1, sprint 2, sprint 3, 2 weeks, 2 weeks, 2 weeks, which how many weeks have happened? 6 weeks. 6 weeks, there is enough code. So in this code, I mean, if you deploy it into production, you will not be, I mean, checkbook feature is not there. Okay, let's assume checkbook feature is not there. Any concerns, raising the ticket for concerns, raising tickets for concerns, that feature is not there. Okay, your what is that, credit card related features are not there. Okay, and update phone number is not there. Let's say some features, these features are not there, but the below features are available. These features are available. Features are available after when? After the sprint 3 of 6 weeks of work, the below features are there. What are there? You will be able to log in. Okay, wonderful. Okay, you will be able to check your account summary. Wonderful. You will be able to check the transaction history. Wonderful. Okay, you will be able to do the balance transfers. Wonderful. Okay, but all the other features that you have promised are not there yet. Okay, transfer, okay, are not there yet. Okay, maybe after sprint 4 or 5 or 6, these additional features may be added. Okay, these are not available now, not available now. Okay, but this may not be available at this point of time. Okay, after 6 weeks of work, these features are available, but these features which you have promised are not available. Now Shirin can take a call whether they want to deploy into production or not. Where Shirin decides that this code which has been done after sprint 3 is being deployed into production, all the customers, end customers of ICICI, will be able to do below, but they will not be able to do this one. Let's say after sprint 4, order checkbook, this feature has been added, and Shirin deployed that. Obviously she will be deploying that feature as well. Now the customers will be not only able to you able to get these services, but one more service called checkbook can also be accessed by the people or get the people. Are you understanding, guys? Maybe after sprint 6, this this may be available. Sprint 7, this may be available. Sprint 8, updating the phone number, username, passwords, those may be available. Are you understanding, all of you, how the sprint works? Okay, all of you, or I've confused you? I'm just asking. I want a unanimous answer, guys. I want you to understand why Scrum has become so popular. Okay. Now with the V model, with the me model, all the features have to be implemented, only then you can deploy. But with the sprint model, every 2 weeks you have some new features added, and as soon as the new features are added, you can make it available to the end customer by deploying the code into production. So this way you will have this advantage that early you can, as quickly as possible, you can have the product deployed into production. Okay, and every week, every 2 weeks, or every 3 weeks, or every 1 week, whatever your sprint time is, you can keep adding the new features, and those new features will be available to the end customer. And that's why the sprint has become so popular. So popular. Okay, so now I'm asking you, all of you guys, you understood why this Scrum, Agile Scrum, is so popular? Everybody is using the Agile Scrum. I want you to understand this, because this is why almost every company is moving out from V and moving into this Agile Scrum. Okay, all of you. If you have not, I will try to explain this again. And after that, we will get into these terminologies. Okay, what is that? Product owner, Scrum Master, okay, and user stories, burn down chart, okay, daily Scrum, and all those I'll explain. Don't worry about that. But first, you need to understand what happens in the Agile. Okay, so should we continue, or should we postpone it to tomorrow? I want to hear from all of you. Okay, tomorrow is what? Tomorrow I'll be taking the class. Day after tomorrow, obviously I'm not taking. I'm asking you, all of you. Okay, should I continue, or should we postpone it to tomorrow? Tomorrow? Okay, wonderful. I know
Tomorrow.
this is little difficult and very hard to observe all these things. Okay, so tomorrow again I'll try to repeat this thing, whatever I've said, and try to start using these terminologies. Okay, try to start terminologies. Tomorrow it is all agile, guys. Okay,
Okay, sir.
again tomorrow also try to attend the class, guys. Is very important. Okay, so we'll see you tomorrow. Okay, bye bye, take care. Any questions, by the way? Any questions, guys? Wonderful, Syed. Any questions? Okay, I'm taking off, guys. If you have, yeah, bye. If anybody has a questions, please ping me. Don't hesitate to ping me. Okay, personally. Okay, I hope you, all of you, have my number.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Bye bye.